contain your excitement when you get something you've really wanted. Like the gold standard in automotive protection, WeatherTech floor liners. With deep sculpted channels and laser measured for total protection in the front, back, and even up the sides.
Dad, you're going viral.
What? WeatherTech me.
So don't be shy, enjoy. Order your premium American-made products at WeatherTech.com.
With one of our two championships up for grabs, this penultimate round has big implications. Better mind your P's and Q's as we get ready for the Porsche Sprint Challenge North America Cayman Series by Yokohama. I'm Joe Peak, and with me in the booth is former racer Joey Atterbury and sports car racer Ashley Freiberg. Joey, Road Atlanta feels fitting to have our finale here.
It is a fantastic racetrack to close out a season, and let's look at this track map. 12 turns, 2.5 miles in length. Sector number 1, turn 1 and through the S's, kind of a little bit more of a technical area, but trust me, drivers are carrying tons of speed. And then turn number 7, that highlighted area, you got to make sure to get a great corner exit as it leads you out onto this long back straightaway. And then turn number 10 down there at the end of that back straight is our biggest and best brake zone, so look for some deep passing moves to be made there.
Without a doubt, it's going to be challenging. We've already seen a few drivers get caught out by it in our practice and testing we've had. But now it's time for race 1. And it starts like this with Jens Hansen on the front row alongside Erica Hoffman, her second front row start this season. She'll then be ahead of Keith Grant on our pole in the Masters. Lonnie Unser starting 4th behind them. From there, row 3 sees Anna Checki starting in P5. Spencer Proper then will start from the 6th position today. 7th goes to Bill Finnick, as David Grant will join us in the AutoWorks machine starting from P8. And from there, you've got Alain Scalzo, who is close to claiming a championship. All he needs is a 6th place. He'll start there on what is not quite row 1, but that'll be 9th place, 10th. Goes to Cody Knight. Gary Buffkin will be 11th, and Roland Krines will start from the 12th position. After that, it's going to be Joe Rizzo in P13. Rob Trollinger will start in the 14th spot. Bill Pelichewski had a bit of an unfortunate incident into his qualifying. Start from 15th. Reggie Tartaglione will start in 16th. And then we have Dan Ammon from 17th. And we will not have an 18th car in this one. As they head down the back straightaway, Ashley, obviously, we've been looking forward to this. A fantastic track, but as I said, it's testing.
Yeah, there's a few areas that are passing zones here, but otherwise it's pretty high speed. So it's going to be pretty challenging for these drivers to make positions, but definitely these cars up front will be battling pretty hard. And like we mentioned, Hansen, he's been pretty often leading and winning a lot of these races, but Lonnie Unser just came off of a win at Watkins Glen. She is P4. I'm sure she'll be fighting for it forward. Erica Hoffman, she's probably going to go for her podium finish, second time in the front row. Pretty exciting for her. And Anna Checki as well has been on the podium often too. So these front cars will definitely be battling it out.
And the nice thing is, with that Pro-Am championship having been mathematically decided, that actually frees them up to race without any worry about risks. Will that give us some thrills as they come out of the final corner looking for the call from the flag stand? And there it is. Green flag is out. Jens Hansen off down into turn 1. He is going to cover the inside immediately. Hoffman following in behind him, round the outside. Lonnie Unser trying to take that P3 away, can't get it off of Grant.
Yeah, but if she can hang tough on the outside, she's going to have this inside to what is turn number 2. Looks like she's going to clear Grant up at the top of the hill, so move Lonnie Unser up into 4th. Grant back into that spot behind her, and now Anna Checki in the yellow and white 27.
Grant is our leader in the Masters currently, so he did not lose points-paying positions. It's Bill Finnick in 2nd, who needs a good result, but as it stands right now, Scalzo running 3rd. He would clinch that title in the Masters category. Looks like pressure is on with Lonnie getting very close to the back of Erica, who goes wide there, Ashley.
Yeah, don't forget, these two are teammates at Kelly Moss as well, so they're going to want to work together. Erica did make a little bit of a mistake there, but she gathered it back up, got a really nice run out of turn 7, and remember, getting that exit speed out of turn 7 is super important because it leads onto this really long straightaway, and certainly 10A and 10B is a really good passing zone, so looks like she has a little bit of a gap on Lonnie, but Lonnie's putting the pressure on, popping out into her mirrors. We'll see how this turns out.
Looks like Scalzo making a move farther in the back, managing to get by the number 3. So that is Cody Knight. That's another one that is not in his class. So basically just trying to work his way up to Finnick up ahead. First lap, nice and clean, Joey. This is good to see.
Yeah, it is pretty good to see. I saw that Rizzo and Pelichowski were pretty close, and now Pelichowski making a move down into turn number 1. So it looks like he's going to grab that 13th spot as we watch our leaders here at the top of the hill. Jens Hansen doing everything that he can right now to try to stretch that gap between himself and second place. And I think that Lonnie Unser, especially after seeing that little bit of a wide moment down there in turn number 6, is ready to pounce as well.
Watching our leader Grant here in the Masters with Anna Checki just in behind, coming up towards turn 6. Not going to be close enough to try and make an attack up to here, but it is that critical turn 7 many drivers going to be focusing on. We ride on board with Annie as they set up for that.
So important to get the throttle down. Look at, she's already matted on the gas, 100% pretty much at the apex. Unfortunately, though, that car in front of her, Grant, also got an excellent run out of that corner. So now it's just sitting in the slipstream, trying to tow yourself along, concentrate on that brake marker that's coming up.
And I'm sure Grant is wanting to keep a gap between him and Fennick, so having Anna Checki in between is certainly an advantage. However, Anna is trying to fight for that top 3 in the Pro-Am class, so I'm sure these few cars are wanting to sort of shuffle around.
Exactly. Anna needs to try and get back up to Unser here. So we see Finnick leading proper in Grant. And, of course, Finnick, as I said, hoping for a good result here. Does not want to give up this position because that'll make him vulnerable to Scalzo then in behind that pair of Pro-Ams. So up into turn 3. No change of position this time amongst the Cayman GT4s, and then they'll plunge back down the hill through the S's.
See this long train of cars here just trying to figure out their race rhythm out here. There's the number 30. That's Spencer Proper, who's sitting right now 5th in that Pro-Am class, 7th overall, has a little bit of pressure behind him from Grant there in that number 29 car as they all feed through the far end of the racetrack here at Road Atlanta. That's turn 6, coming up to the sharper, slower turn number 7. Look at how close Anna Checki was in that yellow and white car, so she might have an opportunity, although that car directly in front of her, Grant, did a nice job once again accelerating away on that exit.
Yeah, we got to remember we've got 2 different Grants out there. That's Keith Grant, who's racing in the Masters in the number 40. Cody. A very similar paint to David Grant, who is back in the Pro-Ams in that number 29. We'll try our best to try and keep track of it for you. And look at this. Scalzo, who I thought was going to be focusing forward to try and catch up to Finnick, has instead been on a rear guard with Cody Knight hot on his heels.
Was a little bit more defensive in the middle of the racetrack there, that time through 10A and B, and now they feed their way down the hill here, complete yet another lap at this incredibly fast 2.5 mile 12 turn facility here. And you're right, I think that Elaine Scalzo might be a little bit faster in one section of the racetrack, and Knight might be a little bit faster in the other end.
Certainly seems to be close to him coming down into that braking of 10A each time that we've turned the cameras to him. I thought I saw for a brief moment somewhere in the mid-pack somebody taking a look coming into the final corner. Thankfully, they stayed single file, because that is a dangerous move to make if you're trying to make passes down to the start-finish line.
Never really a huge passing opportunity down there at that area that you're talking about, but did you see that down in turn number 6? That was Lonnie Unser taking a look down the inside of the 21 car directly in front of her, and now it almost seems like Erica Hoffman might have been just a touch wide through turn number 7, so this could be another opportunity here for Unser to start to reel it in this slipstream, see if she can get close enough to present the car down into the brake zone.
It looks like a pretty decent exit from Hoffman. As we ride on board with Unser, you can see Erica just pulling away a little bit. She's going to be out of arm's reach coming down to the braking, showing herself in the mirrors. Lonnie Unser reminding that 21 that she is still there. She wants to get by. If she has more pace, Jens Hansen's already put 3.5 seconds on the pair of them.
Yeah, turn 6 and 7, really tricky area of the track because like we were talking about earlier in qualifying, a lot of these corners are really high speed. Turn 6 is really high speed, and Lonnie was taking a peek there, but remember, you really have to slow the car down a lot in turn 7. It feels like you're basically parking the car because it's really important that you get exit speed coming out of turn 7. So trying to not get sucked into really charging too fast into turn 7, I think that's really easy to do. But you have to have that patience in order to get the run out.
This is forming a little bit of a train. They've also got Keith Grant behind them, Anna Checki starting to join, and I think I see Bill Finnick also getting quite close to the pair of them. So this is looking like they got to be careful. If anybody slips out of line, everybody behind is going to be pouncing.
Let's see if there's any difference this time through that same section that we were just talking about. And if there's one thing that is reliable, it is the exit out of that number 21 car. She seems to really understand turn number 7, and look at her just accelerate away from Unser on this straightaway. Ashley, that's all to your point. That's all in that back half of turn number 7, that launch coming out of it.
Yeah, and again, it comes down to patience. And from Erica's standpoint, her mirrors are full of 8 cars behind her. So kudos to her for really staying focused on her own program, focusing out the windshield, not in her mirrors, and getting that run out. Now the key is to do that for the next 27 minutes at a lap.
Exactly. It's going to be a tall ask, but she seems to be up for it here in these early stages, keeping a cool head out there. Worth noting, even though Hansen was not able to improve it this time by the previous lap, he set the fastest lap of the race. So the 12 is flying out front right now, but it's up to the rest of these cars to try and decide who comes home best of the rest of the day if this is any signal. Anna Checki really getting into the mix here. She's starting to get closer to Keith Grant.
Well, and to your point, I mean, I see personal fastest lap times out of 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th place right now. So I think that these drivers have kind of finally settled into that rhythm. They understand where they are faster, maybe where they're a little bit better than some of their competitors. And I also see purple Sector 1 from Jens Hansen. So that just kind of expands my point. These cars are coming alive.
That's a good point. So the handling getting better, the traction is there. Is this the time to try and make a move where the car feels at its best in the race? Or could they hold on maybe till a little bit later? Keith getting awful close to the back of Lonnie for a brief moment, but he's not going to try and attempt anything coming down into the 10A chicane. The 40 still, even though he has that lead in the Masters class, looking very strong right now.
You're right in that it's kind of shifted from, it was Unser pressuring Hoffman, but now it is definitely Grant pressuring Unser. So I wonder if maybe Lonnie just had a poor corner somewhere that we didn't quite catch, and now Grant is, like I said, right on the back end there, trying to do whatever he can to fill the mirrors of that white and purple number 4.
Up through turn 3 here, and then it's back down into the valley once again. Big old drop before it'll compress in the middle of the S's. And you're right, yeah, I mean, look at Erica putting more and more distance. There's a few more car lengths between herself and Unser. So after it seemed like maybe she was the plug in the spigot, she has shown that no, there is more underneath her, and she's starting to scoot away.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see her confidence growing as the season goes. I know she had to miss a race or two this season due to sponsorship reasons, but she was able to pull some sponsorship together to get herself back out here. So she's definitely hungry to not prove herself just off the track, but also on the track with her pace.
That pace looking good right now, although Unser seems to be responding and starts to reel it back in a little bit. Meanwhile, towards the back, we got a little bit of a fight. Reggie Tartaglione, I think that might be Pelichewski in this battle.
Yeah, just kind of right in the middle of the racetrack here, going down what is the back straightaway. See if any of them can outbrake each other. You see defensive from this lead car in this train, so they're both going to follow in the tire tracks through 10A and 10B. And yes, that is the 51. That's Buffkin right now chasing Pelichewski.
Apologies. So slightly similar livery between the pair of them, and Buffkin attempting to try and find himself a position within class. That's for a top 5 there in the Masters. But we're going to jump back up now to our race for P2 in the Pro-Am. It has been stuck like this since the start, with Hoffman leading Unser, leading Grant, leading Checky, and that takes us through the top 5 in this race. This is much closer this time, though. Lonnie has a good opportunity to try to be sneaky into turn 6, but she decides better of it. She'll back out as she's setting herself up for 7.
Erica got a terrific run through 6 after Lonnie kind of showed the nose there at the beginning part of the corner. But once again, Erica Hoffman just absolutely nails it on that corner exit of what is turn number 7 here. And I do have to say that it's not like Erica's running slow lap times. That last lap time, 128.99. I mean, that's only a few tenths off of our leader right now.
Yeah, I think she seems pretty comparable to all those around her. So I'd say that pace is absolutely there. I thought maybe we'd see something from Grant because he seemed to get a good exit, but again, not able to do anything at this stage down into the chicane. One of the best passing zones you have on this track, so we're expecting most of the overtakes to try and happen there, but you never know. Some drivers can manage to get sneaky and creative.
And from Grant's perspective, he's leading his class right now in the Masters class, so to be racing the top 2 cars here that are in the top 3 of the Pro-Am class, you just have to be careful with putting too much risk into your situation. So does he really need to pass these 2 cars in front of him? Not really, right? So he really just wants to win in his class. Of course, as a driver, you always want to pass everyone in front of you, but if these 2 cars are really going after it, sometimes it's better to stay out of the mayhem. And looking at this pace right now, I mean, Lonnie definitely has a little bit more pace in some of these high-speed corners. If I was in Lonnie's shoes right now, I would learn as much as I can with what Erica is doing in turn 7, because you could see right there, actually, she's turning a little bit later, slowing the car down a little bit more on entry, and kind of what we like to call squaring the corner off. So that way the car is a little straighter, more pointed down the back straightaway at the apex, and that's allowing Erica to get to throttle sooner.
And Ashley, you mentioned that it seemed like she was a little bit quicker in some of the faster corners. This is a spec series. What makes the difference that one car could be better in those areas than the other?
Well, because it's spec, I mean, the cars are all pretty identical, and these are both Kelly Moss cars, so I'm sure they're set up very similarly. So it could just be driving style as well. And I know Lonnie's been here quite a bit with me coaching the AMG Driving Academy, so she knows this track really well. She knows these blind corners that are up over the crest. So some of it could just be confidence as well. And yeah, I think she just has to try to mimic exactly what Erica's doing here in turn 7 in order to make that pass, because I do think she has a little more pace in the high-speed stuff.
I want to mention that Crines managed to get by Buffkin a little bit earlier, so he's moved up into 5th in that Masters class, so a change farther down when we weren't looking. And while the cars seem to get close in some corners, they then just accordion back apart as they exit other corners. It does seem to be a challenge here today to try and get those passes done, Joey.
The consistent thing has been Jens Hansen out front, out to what is almost 7 seconds now. So he is loving this battle that he sees behind him, and he has taken full advantage of that race pace that he's got inside that number 12 car right now. And once again, Hoffman just absolutely kills it on that corner exit of turn number 7. And I like to think of it as a stiff arm, right? You get the better corner exit, and you can kind of stiff arm that car away from you.
Is this Rizzo, I think, potentially in a bit of a battle as they come down the backstretch? Indeed it is. He versus Buffkin as they fly towards the breaking of the chicane. It's going to be a game of chicken. Buffkin on the inside, Rizzo on the outside as they fly towards the markers. And it does look like it's going to be a little bit of advantage to car outside as they break. And it appears that the 51 of Buffkin will take the spot.
Yeah, that is the 51 and also the 19 out there. That is Krein's given chase right now in that car. So nice job from Buffkin to kind of hang on to that. He's had a really busy race with quite a few of his competitors out there.
He has. Good to see him really getting into the thick of it today, giving us some good action. We'll come back to it in a bit, see if they've got more of a show for us, but it's been a stalemate here up at the top of the field, and we're still 20 minutes plus a lap to go. So still 2/3 of this race left to try and get through, and these drivers are having a difficult time trying to shuffle up this order since Lonnie Unser got by Grant at the start.
I look at timing and scoring, though. I'm so analytical about how I look at racing. And right now, Sector 1, Erica Hoffman, personal best, a 35.2. That's pretty much on top of what Jens Hansen is doing. So maybe she has finally kind of settled into that rhythm as well. It takes some drivers and some cars a little bit longer to kind of figure out where exactly that race pace is. But right now, this lap might have been a little bit wide there as you see Lonnie Unser continue to close that gap. As I was mentioning, it was starting to open it up.
You talked about it earlier, Ashley, how much hard work Hoffman has in front of her, just so many cars breathing down her neck, and I'm genuinely impressed with the way that she's handled this whole situation during the race. She is running that partial season, and I mean, she's looking pretty stalwart.
Yeah, I mean, this is just proving she really has a good head on her shoulders. She's thinking about this analytically as well, right? So you can see she's not staring in her mirrors too much. She knows which corners people can pass in. So she's strategically driving in that way. So in these higher speed corners, she knows no one's going to stuff it up the inside of me. I just have to focus forward, focus on my own driving, and making sure I get a good run out of 7. So yeah, she's really doing a nice job, and just have to hang in there for another 18 more minutes.
And for Bill Fennick, I think maybe he's just starting to slip a little bit, I noticed back there. So that's a relief if you're Grant, just 2 cars ahead, really, up there in 4th overall. We hop on board with Lonnie Unser as she continues to try and chase, and still every single time that exit out of turn 7 keeps Erica Hoffman from having to worry and to perhaps the best opportunity throughout the lap. Look at the distance between them by the time they get on the binders.
Yeah, and look at how strong Lonnie Unser is on the brakes there, especially into 10A. Erica once again kind of gets on the gas a little bit sooner out of 10B, but I mean, talk about eating up all of that track position that she might have lost down the back straightaway. This number 4 car is very aggressive and very confident on that brake pedal. Let's see about the balance here in turn number 1. Car looks incredibly stable. You saw her get back to throttle as soon as possible, and now this tricky turn number 3, balance it up over this jumping curb, and then straight back to 100% throttle.
And what I like to see there by Lonnie into turn 10 is she is making her presence known. She kind of popped out a half a car width into Erica's mirror, so she doesn't want to necessarily pass in that moment, but she's just letting Erica know, hey, I am back here, and I am not going to give this up easy.
How effective will the mind games be? Herself in the mirrors as she gets close once again, but this is where she needs that exit at turn 7. Let's see if she's starting to learn how to catch up to her. The car squirms a little bit under power, and it does seem that it's still in favor of Erica.
And you saw her inside the car there, wiping a little bit of sweat off of the face. These drivers are working inside these race cars. It's, coming up to 80 degrees here, ambient temperature. So, Ashley, what does that usually translate? About 110 or so inside the cars? I mean, it's usually about a good plus 20, plus 30.
Yeah, it definitely, the heat aspect of driving is the most challenging part physically behind the wheel of a race car. And I mean, you just have to make sure you're hydrating well in advance, and your cardiovascular health has to be really, really good. So these drivers are training a lot in between the races. I know Erica and Lonnie also go to the Porsche Female Development Driver Program, where they were taught about all these things, the training aspect, the nutrition aspect of it. So these drivers are working hard. It's a full-time job.
They are very much athletes as well, and these cars will test them. As again, they keep teasing us getting close into some of these corners. I thought Grant had another shot at it, but now he's on the back foot, and it instead is Anna Checki, who is trying to get onto the podium, but she's got to get by Grant first so that she can challenge Unser to collect another of those trophies. This has been a real nail biter up at the front of this field. Even though it is for second place, Hansen is actually 7.8 seconds ahead. He's been running away with this one, but they've been giving us a real battle here for that P2.
It's kind of compressed up a little bit in this last, call it half a lap as well. So not only is Lonnie Unser still trying to get by Erica Hoffman, but you see Grant in that orange number 40 car really kind of reel it into that white and purple number 4 car as well. Both of them very, very strong on the brakes there going into turn 10A. And now it's the run up over the hill, back down the hill through turn number 12 and start yet another lap.
They'll go by us here at Road Atlanta at that very unique start-finish line right at the end of a corner, down the main straight and into turn 1 once again. All of them trying to carry as much speed as they can up that compression towards turn 2 to spot their marker and then turn in just in time to clip that inside curb at turn 3. Back downhill we go once again, and we see a little bit more space, a little air showing up between Hoffman and Unser.
This might develop into something a little bit different from what the drivers have been seeing for the last, call it 20 minutes or so. So if we kind of get this top 3 breakaway, which, as I say that, Anna Checki just reels it right back into the back end of Grant. I was going to say, if we do get a top 3 breakaway, does that allow Grant to focus on the attack of Unser? Now, obviously, different classes, and you have to be respectful of all of that, but always with the racing, it's always going to accordion, compress up, and then stretch back out.
We've seen that a lot today for sure. And this is where it stretches out as we see it from above here. Oh, and we get some side-by-side a little bit farther back. The 30 in a nice battle coming towards the braking of turn 10. Will that be Spencer Proper being passed by Knight? It's going to be wheel to wheel and way, way deeper as Knight finds himself another position.
Yeah, and I actually think that Grant in the 29 got by Spencer Proper
right.
well. So I wonder if Spencer kind of lifted off of the throttle just to be nice to a competitor out there and then all of a sudden got taken advantage out of from another one.
Really unfortunate in that situation. That was for 5th in class. It looks like Knight up to P5, Grant into 6, and Proper now gets demoted down to 7th. We're well past the halfway mark of this race. It's been managed beautifully by Hoffman up to this point. Still needs to try and hold on as Lonnie's doing everything she can to try and dislodge that number 21. But like you said, Ashley, it's complicated by the fact that they are teammates, so they got to play nice.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're definitely playing, but still competitive. And again, Lonnie is not giving this one up easy. However, Erica is still doing a great job focusing forward here. So we'll see how this continues to play out. But man, Erica is definitely holding strong.
They pulled themselves a little bit over Keith Grant as well. So that also might help Unser. If she doesn't have that number 40 is close behind her, Joey, does that kind of free her up?
100%, right? As soon as you don't have to look in the rearview mirror and you can just focus out the windshield, that's exactly what a racing driver wants to see, is to be able to go out there and attack. So down through turn number 12, this number 21 car is just absolutely nailing every single important corner exit out there. And then Lonnie Unser through these fast corners, call it turn up through the top of the hill, turn number 3, and down through the S's, is just able to really roll that apex speed and close in that track position.
Interesting note, and this might just be the location of where our thermometer is here, but the track temperature started at 106 Fahrenheit. It's down to 102, so we've lost 4 degrees over the course of this race, despite it being a very sunny day.
I would expect we have some rolling clouds through here, Joe.
That could be it too.
You know, that's a pretty drastic change. I wouldn't expect it to go that much, but we do have some moments of overcast.
That might be what is cooling certain parts of the track. Watching out of turn 7 once again. There we could see the visual of what 8 seconds looks like between Hansen and Hoffman. And it's not looking likely that we'll get Erica up to that lead for a fight for the win unless we get a full course yellow, which, as we saw at Watkins Glen, is not out of the question at this stage.
Can definitely happen. Accidents, incidents happen out there on the racetrack, but let's knock on wood everywhere we've got here in this commentary booth that we do stay green for the rest of this race, because I think somebody who doesn't want to see a yellow is Jens Hansen.
I mean, that's how he lost the win
yeah,
at the race
exactly
one.
My point, yeah.
And then he had the same thing happen the next day, and he didn't lose that one. So he's had enough of that. He'd like to just get a nice, cool, calm, collected victory as we hop on board with Lonnie once again. Still just struggling to catch up to the 21. As we watch from her perspective, trying to line up turn 3. You can see how much these cars have to clobber those curbs into that blind corner. But then you got to stay off the curbs through here, we found out.
It's interesting you asked earlier about what the difference is, and I'm kind of noticing a slight difference in driving style between these two drivers. Erica, in general, turns a little bit later everywhere than Lonnie, and I think in the high-speed stuff, oh, she's thinking about it here. Oh, Erica saw that coming. Let's see if she tries to dive up the inside. No, she doesn't. Erica got wide, though. Oh, my gosh, this might actually work out for Lonnie.
This is the opportunity she's been working towards. Just finally managed to get a crack in the wall. But the exit again is what undoes things for Lonnie Unser, because Hoffman, despite being a little bit off the apex, manages to get on the throttle well. She puts herself far enough ahead that there's no more overlap anymore. And there goes the one good opportunity we've seen for much of this race.
Yeah, but let's see about this here. Oh, this looks like a much more even run up the hill for both of these, or I shouldn't say both of them, but all 3 of these cars here. So let's start another lap here. 8 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. Look at how close Grant is to the back of Unser. I think that Lonnie kind of saw that in the rearview mirror. Now she's a little bit wide in turn number 1. This could be the open door for Grant here in this orange number 40. They're side by side up the hill. Lonnie's going to poke ahead just a touch going into turn number 3. That was an aggressive defense from the outside.
From attack to defense for Lonnie Unser. She has reversed roles, and this also means that now Anna Checki is being brought closer, and that's the big thing I think that Lonnie needs to be worried about here. Yes, she might get passed by Grant, but if she opens the door for Checki, no doubt she's going to try and sneak onto the podium positions.
I think we're going to get our answer, though, here of overall pace, because Erica Hoffman's been out front here, and she's been turning consistent high 129s this entire race. And now that Lonnie kind of got put on the back foot, you see there's a little bit of a gap here between second and third. So can she close that in, and how quickly does she close it in?
That's a good point. So we'll see what the lap times look like when they come by this time and try to compare a little bit later, but we only have 7 minutes plus a lap, so now we're starting to get down to the end of it. Opportunities will dwindle as we ride on board with Checki.
And speaking of what you were mentioning there, Joey, Lonnie just went purple in Sector 2 now that she has some clean air, so that does answer a few questions for us there.
She's definitely got some pace underneath her, and in fact, sector number 3 is the fastest car on the racetrack, that white and purple number 4 car. So, yeah, she's got the bit between her teeth, and she wants to go back up there and fight with her teammate.
Wow. So obviously with the side-by-side battle, the lap itself doesn't compare, but the second half very much in favor of Unser. Gap between herself and Hoffman, about 9/10 of a second here early in this latest lap. Will it start to close down once again? We watch the number 4 up and over the crest of 5.
The thing to note now from Lonnie's perspective is Erica definitely did a nice job being very aware that Lonnie was there, left her space, but also that told Lonnie that if she tries to make the move, that Erica will potentially open the door for her. So we'll see how these two start to play out as we get closer to the end. It's getting pretty tight here. We only have 5 minutes and a lap left.
Well, and as they are kind of spread out down the back straightaway here, you're spot on, right? She showed the nose in turn number 6. Erica left the door open, and I felt that she could have probably pushed the issue in turn number 7, but Lonnie decided not to. However, Erica still gave her room there on the apex at turn number 7. That's what provided Unser that huge run down the straightaway. So, yeah, I'm in complete agreement with you that if Lonnie gets close enough and she presents the car, theoretically, she should be left some room.
Across the line, Hoffman with a 29.1, Unser with a 28.9. 2/10 quicker that last lap by.
And just look at the overall lap time out of Lonnie, a 28.9, right? What's our leader doing? 28.92, almost identical.
Wow. Interesting. So this could be a race of what could have been if you're Lonnie Unser. And we've seen that in the past, Joey, when it's been a straight fight between her and Hansen. She tends to keep pace with him.
Yeah, but Erica Hoffman is just this beast in an arm wrestling booth right now, taking on competitors and saying, yeah, come on, I'll challenge you again. And every single time, she's winning every single match.
Doing just an amazing job. So, been loving what I've been seeing out here. It's just she's got to hold on to it for a little bit longer, and it's getting very close in turn 7 now once again.
Yeah, but she just is so good at these corner exits. I'll get a little humorous here. I'm sure that Lonnie is sitting in that driver's seat right now and saying, we really need to compare the motors after this race.
I'm guilty of doing that. I'm not going to lie. All of us drivers are, but I mean, man, you just don't know what could happen. I mean, the tiniest mistake from Erica could change things. The tiniest mistake from Lonnie, as we saw, could have Grant right up in her mirrors trying to make a pass. So having all these cars so close together really can make the whole race change in the split of a second.
They're far enough away now that they can't even see Hansen down the front straightaway. He is around the first corner by the time they come to the last corner, and was just checking to see what the results have been for Erica Hoffman. She's not been on the podium since the first race at Coda, so this is going to be a big return for her to really respond and, like we've been saying, show that she has the wherewithal in what is a very competitive series.
I got my eye on all the lap times here on Timing and Scoring, and I wonder if our overall leader is just kind of in cruise control mode right now, because his last lap was about 3/4 of a second slower than this battle that we've been watching. We've been talking about how Hansen has been in control this entire time, turning fastest lap. So I wonder, with 3 minutes plus a lap, he realizes, okay, 10 seconds, I can kind of back it off just a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He knows that he's got this one well wrapped up if he just brings it home from here. Doesn't need to overstep the boundaries, especially at a track like this where you got more races to come a little bit later. So no reason to throw it away. In the meantime, off of the final chicane once again, and Lonnie just tantalizingly close in so many spots around this track. And she's got a good run onto the main straight. Just don't think it's enough. It's too short down to turn 1.
Yeah, not a hugely long straightaway here, but let's see about the rolling speed. You could just see from the visual height of the cars, it certainly seemed like Lonnie was able to tuck it into the apex a little bit more in turn number 1 there. But up over the hill, Erica does a terrific job carrying the speed up over that curb. I've really been noticing, while the number 4 car has kind of been taking 2 wheels onto that curb, Erica Hoffman has full-on been jumping the top of that turn number 3 curb. There is plenty of curbing up there to kind of approach it either way.
In the meantime, Cody Knight is suddenly caught up to Anna Checki. She sits in 4th in the Pro-Ams, but she's got to hold on for just a little bit longer as the less regular competitor there in the number 3 has shown up and is trying to challenge her for the position. She's on the defense, and as we've seen, a good defense can go a long way at this track.
And unfortunately, though, I think that the other car just got a little bit of a better run. That's Knight in the number 3 car, so he's already up alongside wheel to wheel with Anna Checki, and she's just going to watch that number 3 car sail right on by, probably tuck back into the slipstream here. No, the number 12 car, this is our leader out of 10B. He's got a problem. All of a sudden, Erica Hoffman overtakes for the lead of the race.
Oh my goodness, this has been flipped on its head. We got 2 laps to go as they cross the line. This might be the first time we have seen Hoffman lead out here. Now, I said it's been a long time since her first podium. She has yet to have her first victory here in Sprint Challenge. Has this defense wound up being a critical turning point in her career? Can she finally top the podium?
And I just wonder what has happened to that number 12 car. I had mentioned that he was a little bit off pace the lap before, and then this prior lap was even further off pace. That tells me maybe something happened to the car.
It certainly seems like it. And I'm curious if they will try to bring out the safety car, because we haven't seen that car move yet. And it's not completely in the firing line, but...
yeah, but it looked like it was on the racetrack, so yeah. I'm not sure on that one.
We'll see what happens. They'll get the white flag next time by. They might just have a local yellow to warn cars, which would take away the best place to pass. If you're Lonnie Unser, she's really going to have to get tricky out there to try and make an overtake. She stays close behind Erica Hoffman, who flies down the back straightaway towards where she last time saw our leader off to the side. We could still see him stationary from that overhead view.
Yeah, and there is a little bit of debris coming out the back end of the 21 car, and now Lonnie Unser is right on the back bumper, leaving out of turn number 10B, full course yellow. All of a sudden, it is going to come to a screeching halt with the 21 car still in the lead.
Oh, so close if you are Lonnie Unser, but a sigh of relief if you are Erica Hoffman. She will lead around for one lap, and it might be under yellow, but she'll get to take her first victory in a stunning turn of events here at the end of race 1 this weekend.
Oh, man, for Jens Hansen, what a heartbreaker there. He had such a big lead. Not sure what happened there, but I'm glad they went full course yellow, because that would have been a little bit sketchy there to be battling for the lead through that. But, man, what a great job today by Erica Hoffman. I know she still has half a lap here under yellow before making it to the checkered, but, man, she drove a great race.
Yeah, it's understandable that they did have to slow this one down here at the end. As much as we would love to see it finish under green, we do have to take into account the safety of the competitors. So they're picked up by that safety car, and Erica Hoffman is going to lead them around. So I had said earlier in the race, anything can happen. You just cannot count it until the race is over. And unfortunately, it seems that Hansen will discover that. Granted, as I said earlier, he has completed. He has mathematically eliminated any other rivals in the championship. So, at worst, this is a small ego blow.
I'm loving this camera shot right here. I mean, how eager do you think she is to get to the checkered flag right now? How much emotion do you think we're going to see out of Erica Hoffman? She's just got to follow Barney, the pace car, around for a couple of corners, and I can't wait to see how she reacts. Yeah,
it's funny, though. You don't want to celebrate too early.
No, never.
You have to make sure you cross that checkered, and then I'm sure she will be celebrating. I mean, I'm going to be a little bit biased in here. I am very excited to see both of my girls up on the podium, Erica and Lonnie, doing an amazing job with Kelly Moss.
Oh, what a season it has been as they go by the safety vehicles here at the scene of what has been a halted number 12 car already being loaded onto the flatbed. So just one more corner to go for Erica Hoffman after having to sit at the sidelines. She was even in the booth with us at Road America calling one of the races. She returns, and she returns with victory here at Road Atlanta, her first ever of her competition career.
Gotta love to see it. Another Porsche female driver taking a win here at Porsche Sprint Challenge North America in the Cayman class.
And Keith Grant is also going to take victory in the Masters. Well done by the 40 to bring that one home here today. All right, let's go through our finishing order. As we said, Erica Hoffman taking the win today. Lonnie Unser will come home in P2. Keith Grant, your winner in the Masters class, as Cody Knight will come home on the podium for your Pro-Ams. Then it was Anna Checki finishing 5th overall. Bill Finnick also on the podium for Masters, 6th overall. He was P2 in his class. As it was David Grant, who finished behind them in 7th overall, and Spencer Proper in 8th. And the last of your Masters podium goes to Elaine Scalzo. By our math, that should clinch the championship for him. Bill Pelichewski, 10th overall. Gary Buffkin in 11th. Roland Crines in 12th. And Joe Rizzo in 13th. Reggie Tartaglione will finish P14 today. Trollinger, last driver to see the checkered flag at 15th. And sadly, a DNF for Hansen, his first of the season. We'll be back with our podium ceremony. Stick around because we got more to come here at Road Atlanta.
It's hard to contain your excitement when you get something you've really wanted. Like the gold standard in automotive protection, WeatherTech floor liners. With deep sculpted channels and laser measured for total protection in the front, back, and even up the sides.
Dad, you're going viral.
What? WeatherTech me.
So don't be shy, enjoy. Order your premium American-made products at WeatherTech.com.